there are a lot of Pokemon games. If you haven't noticed, there's so many in fact. They had to go out Kingdom Hearts timeline just to decide what a mainline Pokemon game is and what ones are, well, Pokemon Dash. Well, you see, we got a Pokemon Take Picture, Pokemon Draw Picture, and you can't forget about the worst of them all. Pokemon teaches you how to read. You know what? All right, 1 million likes. I'll try that one. Well, what do you think? I don't want to learn how to read. No, that's not it at all. See, I just have a lot of faith in you guys. You guys are clearly capable of reaching 1 singular million likes. That's it. Yeah, that's all. I've never even played or beaten every single mainline Pokemon game, despite the fact that I've been collecting Pocket Monsters since I was 5 years old, and even make Pokemon YouTube videos, for God's sakes. There's truly just that many games. There's just not enough time. You know, speaking of time, why don't we try to beat every single mainline Pokemon game only using shiny Pokemon? I think that's just so rare that people spend days, weeks, months, I hope not years. Now it just begins sad. But just because you spend a lot of time doesn't mean you just get a shiny Pokemon. Oh no, that just increases your odds. And I'm a gambling man. You only lose when you quit when it comes to gambling. And when the currency I am betting is just hours of my life, can you really lose? Can you? How would I even spend weeks looking for a shiny? What do they even do? Well, you see, that question is quite simple, actually. What they do is absolutely nothing. Well, that's not entirely true. They are a different color, after all. Most of the time. You sold yet? I bet you can't just wait to go hunt them for yourselves. Well, don't worry, because I did just that for you guys. Welcome to Shiny Series, where each video I'll be tackling a Pokemon game and completing it with only shiny Pokemon. After only, a few hundred hours, give or take. I've already completed runs in games such as Pokemon Let's Go twice, both versions. With a game that good, it never really fully sinks in upon the first 100 hours played. You see, it really starts hitting its stride around the 150-hour mark. That's with some pretty damn good odds. I like the odds we're going up against here in this video, let me tell you. Even in the last game we were able to complete with Pokemon Scarlet. Although the game barely functions as a video game, it took far less hundreds of hours to complete. I was able to capture 30 plus shiny Pokemon and even finish the entire Pokedex in the time it took to beat a regular shiny only. These are some Hall of Fame numbers. But let me tell you, they still got nothing, and I mean nothing, on what we have ahead. Pokemon Emerald, one of the most broken shiny hunting games, or even soft resets, are actual rocket science. There aren't only full Excel PowerPoint presentations on what's even possible to be shiny in this game. There's enough research here to go to the moon and back when it comes to just how shiny Pokemon even work. I know the Gen 3 games are a large fan favorite, and this seems like an absolute worst, best game to officially launch the Shiny series with. So, I guess we should, play the game, right? I guess we should play the game already? Okay, let's do that. Pokemon Emerald starts as all Pokemon games do, with you having a heart-to-heart with the, I'm assuming this is God. Let me bend reality itself to make my very own name. Oh, seriously, I typed it out and everything. Bam, it's right there, that's my name. And you can't do that in real life, can you? I may have spoke too soon here. You see, Pokemon Prophet Jesus? Probably just a hallucination from sucking in too many carbon monoxide gases. Shooting out of the back of the U-Haul here. Is this some sort of slave labor? Is this legal? You see, I'd be calling Child Protective Services if I wasn't 10 years old today, thus making me old enough to go on an adventure on my own. Normally, the shiny hunting would start now, as we would start resetting for our shiny starter. But in this game, when a Pokemon is determined shiny by the exact non-calculated millisecond or frame from the second you start a new game. Meaning if you were to soft reset hundreds of times, if you don't have an early shiny frame, it's just never gonna happen. Because soft resets, either impossible or making you the luckiest shiny hunter alive, if you have an early shiny frame, that is. I, however, didn't have an early shiny frame, and never even found out what my shiny frame even was. I stuck to random encounters in the grass. And how bad exactly is this? Well, my first shiny Pokemon hunt took around 25 hours and 20 minutes. Meet R9 Demption, named after the fact that my very first ever captured shiny as a kid was also a shiny Zigzagoon. To me at the time, it was just slightly more red, that's all. Just because it took over 25 hours doesn't mean our shiny Pokemon is any good. The first gym wasn't even close to being a pipe dream. I did what any sane person would do. Spent hours hunting for another shiny Pokemon. I went into the forest this time around to get Shroomish to make Roxanne in the rock gym a joke. That didn't happen. I'm not that lucky. Instead, we stumbled upon a good old Nincada, which honestly doesn't do us too good here. This could have possibly been the worst shiny Pokemon we have gotten, until I found out something very crucial that I had never even considered before. When Nincada evolves, some of you have an open party slot, Pokeball, and a dream. Nincada does not simply evolve into one Pokemon, but into two, like at the exact same time, not like two separate Pokemon. Meaning we got ourselves two shiny Pokemon for the price of one. Not that that will help us in the first gym here. You would think this would make our overall shiny journey easier since we have one less shiny Pokemon to capture. I am of the shiny mentally ill, and of course I couldn't just settle for 6 shiny Pokemon. We were able to defeat Roxanne with one of the most degenerate strategies ever, using both Sand Attack, Harden, and even eventually struggle after we ran out of moves. But good old 2-for-1 gets the job done alone. He's already 2 Pokemon in the price of 1, bringing our grand total playtime to 47 hours. I told you guys not to try this at home. I did, right? Well, here's why. Clearly, these Pokemon games have some incredibly moving stories that intertwine through so many great characters. So, I'm not gonna bore... I'm not gonna spoil some of that for you guys. So, I'll just give you the abbreviated version. We saved the guy Seagull, met with the president of Rocks. Oh, sorry, I guess he runs a tech company, but he collects rocks. That's what it was. I mean, don't get me wrong. It must be great fun for you. I personally rather collect sparkly creatures that are financially worthless, unlike the rocks that you find. You know, never mind, just keep collecting your shiny rocks. Who am I to judge? Since the gym up ahead is a fighting one, though, I thought it would be safe to say we need another team member here. And what team member would be better than capturing an Abra? Am I right? You know, super effective to fighting and all. Oh, no. You see, I'm an Aaron. Yeah, that's it. I really wanted an Aaron. But you know Aaron, like the little metal thing? It's okay. This one's got some red eyes now. No, like, that's it. That's the only difference here. Is it worth it? Ron. Eh? Oh, yeah. By the way, 2-for-1. Finally living up to its name now. Meet the great bug it became, and the great bug it left behind. Its shedded shell became a ghost, but only super effective attacks can land, meaning Broly can't even hit us until we run out of moves and we struggle, killing ourselves. But hey, we won, okay? Just don't sweat the small details. Rondé hasn't really proven himself to be of any use yet, but with the electric gym coming up ahead and being ground... This thing's a rock type? How? Why? Since when? I thought our very first attempts weren't even close. Conveniently, he has moves to cover for Shinininja and outdamages all of our shiny monsters. After a short training montage and evolving R9 Demption to, this. Oh, you know, red pandas are my favorite animal or anything like that. I much prefer ferret things. I'm pro gamers. I game proly. But before our next shiny Pokemon, let me introduce you to the real hunt. The hunt of the hiker. There is a 1 in 60 chance when taking the cable ride that you can encounter a hiker. You already know I had to see it for myself. Yep, that's a hiker, alright. Do I need help? Is this healthy? I can't stop. The odds for our shiny Pokemon aren't nearly going to be that good, though. We captured a volcano of our very own. Except miscolored, of course. Obviously. Since it's 4 times weak to water, it's good that the next gym is fire, right? And that the rest of the game just happens to revolve around traveling waters. That's good for us. Too much water, 8 out of 10. What is this shit? SeaWorld? F*** out of here with the rain, too. What do you need, more water from the sky? Do I gotta battle the gym? Do I? I mean, I just made some new friends. They all say I'm the most handsome man they've ever seen. Sure, they're all on life alert, and when they fall, they don't always get back up. But I don't discriminate. Shame on you if you do. Old people are people, too. I mean, what was this gym leader's name even? Like Flannery or whatever? I don't even think I got her name, you know, considering how fast and obviously first try we beat her. Every gym battle, I can't help but notice how bad our type coverage really is. I mean, come on, if it sparkles, it's on the team. It's not exactly the most strategic mindset to have here. Would make for a very good chess strategy. Clearly missing a water type and flying type is leaving our team to have much to be desired. So, of course, where do I gotta look for the next one? The desert. Oh, what a treat this one is. It's almost like dessert. Yeah, get it? Because I sure don't, because I don't know how to read, remember? Well, of course we get a shiny. Come on, what kind of question is that? Again, we don't get the one I was hoping for here. You know, Flygon? You know, that would have been pretty cool. But I guess we'll settle for Sandshrew. Don't get me wrong, I love me some Super Saiyan God Sandslash. The moveset and the stats leave much to be desired here. Next gym leader? Not exactly the most excited for this one. It's our father. Deadbeat himself. You know the guy that was in the Air Force when we got transported in a moving truck and instead hired Vigoroths to be my new dad? I always wondered why I look nothing like him. So I guess Mom's not a furry? Well, since you've been gone getting the milk, I got 6 shiny Pokemon. Just don't ask about my type coverage, alright? It's kind of a sore spot. Oh, it's your job to be a normal type trainer. But when I do it, that's just fucked up. But it totally wasn't your job to be my father, right? Well, Step Vigoroth was everything you could never be. But your team is pretty good, I'll give you that. Might take a few tries, give me a second here to try some bullshit. I don't know. And Kata does seem kind of cheap right now. I really just don't want anyone to say it doesn't count, because last time that they said that, I redid an entire video. Yeah, I mean, people just couldn't accept that. A Pikachu that wears a shirt counted as a shiny, I guess. Nice try, lady. You aren't tricking anyone with that. That's clearly everyone's favorite dragon type. Bird and Cloud. Everything up until now is pretty much to the point. More than halfway through the game, I gotta start talking to people and find out where shit is and where to go. Oh, you gotta go to the cemetery. You gotta battle the pirates. Oh, now you gotta go back to the hidden base in the mountains and battle the red team. You know, the land lovers in front of the red god they praise. Oh, now you gotta find the pirate secret base. Oh, wait, you can't go there yet. You gotta watch the pirates steal the submarine first. That's it. Oh, now you can go back to the base and beat the bad guys. Chase them away. Oh, but now they go underwater. Oh, we can't dive. We gotta go do the next gym. This wouldn't be so bad if I had a damn Pokemon that could fly. At least the Badger Weasel Ferret that we have can surf. Or I'd be in some real trouble here. I did, however, attempt a pretty ambitious shiny hunt here before the next gym. And I was feeling good so far. Everything was coming to us pretty easily. Other than battles being easy. And I wanted another shot at fixing our team. But I also wanted some high stakes. So I tried my hand at the Safari Zone. What a terrible idea this was. Not only did I have to reset countless times, so I wasn't just throwing away our money at every entrance, but this took so long. But at least we eventually encounter a shiny. A shiny Wobbuffet? Who knows, that might actually be an improvement to our team. Not quite sure on that one, but it's very improvement for colors. One problem, yep, I didn't actually practice how to catch Pokemon in the Safari Zone, and I'm really stressed about this. I mean, I did throw ball after ball, and worse, I didn't have a single Pokeblock to throw to it to make it easier to catch. So you guessed it, gone forever. That's what you get when you gamble big, you lose big, kids. Don't be like me. Instead, just smoke crack. Trust me, shiny Pokemon is just not the answer. Just watch me ruin my life instead of you do. This gym was the worst thing in the entire journey, even worse than losing a shiny. What the fuck is that? Is there some sort of Pokedex entry that I could check real quick to see what this is? Made by an ancient civilization dating back 20,000 years. You mean Moses had to battle one of these to free the slaves? The entry literally says this Pokemon shoots beams from its hands after all. Who needs a god to praise when Claydol's right here in the flash? It's very strong to say the least. I had to grind poor Ron A all the way up to an Aggron, about 40 levels higher than the Claydol here, and still had major difficulties. But with only Ron A left, we eventually took the win over the Tate brothers. But now that we can dive underwater and find the stolen submarine and battle the pirates and set their water whale god Willy free, it quickly becomes obvious that the water god is much more problematic. Seems he's got the land god Groudon, pretty cornered here. What are you gonna do on that small piece of land? In that crippling 4 times weakness to water in the rain. You just wanna remind me real quick how this is how this is even a battle. I think he's just being bullied. Well, of course, we gotta stop this after I get a little fishing in. The only way to break up this totally fair and endless battle is to grab a third god who can control the weather, forcing them to stop. Again, not too sure how this dragon flying Pokemon has any say over Willy here, because he's only a 1/4 times super effective Ice Beam away from being sent from this world. It's really Kyogre's world, and we're just living in it. What do I know? I'm just a 10-year-old trying to fish. I do really want a shiny dragon god, though. You know, being able to fly would make this whole game a lot easier. You can do random encounters for Rayquaza by walking up to it, check if it's shiny, waiting for it to run away, and doing it all over again by leaving the area and coming right back. This way, we are getting various potential shiny frames and not just resetting on the exact same frames over and over again. You see, how this works canonically, though, I'm entirely not sure. Are these entirely different Rayquazas every time? Does it just paint itself black so that we eventually leave it alone? Is it very lonely up here by itself? I did this for far too long, until I was just about to quit. Until it happened. Oh no! And by that I mean I quit. Yeah. I know, I just broke my own gambling rules here. We're just gonna have to beat the rest of the game with one of the poorest shiny teams ever to do it. I got very, very unlucky with the last gym, even getting frozen at one point. Kindra didn't have any actual way to hit Shinies, so eventually, after a very long back and forth, we could take it out and acquire the final gym badge. This now means we have the power to control waterfalls and make it to possibly the worst victory road of all time. You can't see a thing, makes no sense. Sometimes you gotta go up ladders, sometimes you gotta go down ladders, sometimes you gotta crank that Soldier Boy before it cranks you, and it might not even be the right way after all that. You just might get lost. These Elite Four members are not easy in the slightest, especially not for a guy like me who uses the first shiny thing he sees and tries his best. First, we have Sydney and his Dark-type Pokemon. Already terrible for Shinies, and our best Pokemon against them is made out of Styrofoam. Is really the best we got? That's the best we can do, huh? Super effective? I'm not too sure about that one. 2-for-1 tries its damn best, but it's still not good enough. So Can't Swim, GG's, finishes up the Mighty Anna. I immediately changing to this silly billy of a mistake, losing Sandslash for absolutely no good reason at all, other than, landing a single sand attack, I guess. A Ron A Thunderbolt takes out the Crawdon, and Eruption kills the Cacturn and Shiftry, leaving only the Absol, who R9 Demption is barely able to inch out the win with more than a few headbutts. Leading us to the next member, Phoebe and her Ghost-type Pokemon. After losing Shinies to a terrible switch, Can't Swim takes out the 2 Dusclops with Earthquakes. Even that is an absolute torture to put down, but after many switches, and it being healed, Ron A takes the first one out, and R9 Demption, out of all of our Pokemon, takes out the second, only leaving her with her Sableye. Can't Swim eventually takes out with an Earthquake. The next member, on the other hand, required a lot of attempts and many failures until I got the correct strategy. I open up with Ron A. A Thunderbolt crit takes out the Celio. Wall Rain walls off and sweeps my entire team here if I'm not careful. I know these Pokemon are seeming pretty sad at this point, but with 2 sand attacks, Ron A is able to avoid a Surf, which would have clearly taken him out, giving us just enough time to take out Walrein in one of the most flawless runs we could have ever asked for, so that we can go into Can't Swim, who easily takes out Gallade number 1, and Celio gets extremely lucky and not only sets up Hail, making Shinies absolutely useless, but also gets a crit Blizzard, one-hit KOing R9 Demption in the process. Luckily, Can't Swim is able to cheese out the KO with a pair of Earthquakes, leaving only her final Gallade, who Can't Swim is easily able to erupt, getting us the win. Draco was a real pain, until I told him I too was Canadian, and he let me knock out his Salamence for freezies. Yep, it was for free. Yeah, I wish that was actually what happened, but it was very much earned and took a lot of attempts. I honestly have no interest retelling this, because it's the final battle that matters, not this guy. Soy Drake. Thanks to us playing Emerald, the champion here is Wallace, and not Stone Collector, which I think would have been a much worse matchup for our team overall, but actually, Steven may have been easier. It's hard to say. Best believe I had a very, very scummy setup to beat Wallace here. I already spent way too much time on this video, so I'd rather use these tactics instead, especially considering every one of the Elite Four members heals their Pokemon up every chance they get anyways. I open up with Shinies, knowing that his Walrein has not a single move that can even touch us. I inject our Shinies here with so many steroids. which, ironically, isn't really that much of a difference here, because it's that bad. Because I didn't really plan for this. But once we were ready, I shadow balled the wall rain until it imploded. Up next is Tentapool, whose only gameplay is to poison Shininja, so we go down to poison damage. Luckily, he misses on the first turn, though, leading us to use Confuse Ray, just to give us a slightly better chance to avoiding getting poisoned next turn. Well, we end up getting poisoned anyways. Oh no. But luckily, I already knew this was his tactic all along, and prepared a poison curing berry on Shininja, giving us another turn to live. A single Shadow Ball brings Tentacool into healing range, so next turn we are able to take it out, resulting in us getting poisoned in the back and forth exchange. Luckily, this does mean we don't take poison damage on that turn. We're able to swap Shininja out before it dies. Next out is Ludicolo, who R9 Demption somehow managed to take out, despite it absolutely abusing Double Team and healing up the full HP. I sacrificed 2 for 1 for absolutely no reason at all, other than landing a few sand attacks before going down. I then realized how dumb I was and then go into Shininja now. And since he can't hit it, we eventually are able to knock it out, being in no danger whatsoever. Up next is a very terrifying Gyarados, who also stands no chance against Shininja, since it can't hit us, and after a few Shadow Balls, it too is down, leaving only his final Pokemon. I initially thought, this would be no sweat for R9 Demption, since I gave it Shockwave a while back, but no, Melodic doesn't give a single care about super effective moves. It's just too thick. I was still able to damage it enough for it to consume its Health Berry, but that's about all that R9 Demption could achieve in this battle. I allow him then to one-shot Sandslash, Aggron, and Camerupt. But not before I was able to revive R9 Demption for round 2. For his redemption? Get it? Yeah, I didn't get it either. I don't even have this written down in the script. Bad enough that this thing wouldn't die because you got down to its berry recovery, and also you give 4 restores, and then you give a recover too? That's great. This is where the pure scumbaggery came in. Since Shininja was only able to be hit by Toxic, I kept reviving R9 Demption and Shininja constantly until Wallace ran out of Toxics, making Shininja able to get its revenge after dying 1,000 deaths, and finished the journey with the Shadow Ball, becoming champion with quite possibly the worst shiny team I could have ever assembled, especially through all of my shiny-only playthroughs so far, and concluding the first official Shiny Series run, clocking in at only 175 hours and 45 minutes. Is that the world record? Did I set the world record? That seems pretty quick to me. 175 hours? That's better than 176 hours. That's pretty good. I mean, it's not including all of my soft resets. It's probably over 200 hours, though, now that I think about it. It's pretty sad. Here's a list of the remaining games we have to complete with only shiny Pokemon. Leave in the comment which one you'd like me to play next. Subscribe to stay updated with the series. And as always, I've been R9, and I hope you had yourselves a damn good time.